after a bookshelf collapsed on him at Little Ashford Preschool this week. Khanya would have turned 3 next month, was laid to rest this afternoon. Gauteng will be partly cloudy tomorrow with isolated showers and thunder showers. Joburg dropping to an overnight low of 15 degrees, peaking at 30. Pretoria 16 and 32, Vereeniging 13 and 30 as well. Lerato Huffela, Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News on 947. For more, click ewn.co.za.
947 947
#MSW. You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
We must hit the ground running like a speed of a cheetah and hyena at the same time, or leopard. But it's important that we cannot go back and try to analyze some of the shortcomings.
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture will be Mr. Zizi Kodwa.
President Cyril Ramaphosa appointed Zizi Kodwa, who previously served as Deputy Minister of State Security, to the Sports, Arts and Culture portfolio. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What does it mean?
Felicitations of hope and expectations.
Changing and re-engineering sports on the continent and the world.
As politicians, you also wake up one day and the president says, I'm going to reshuffle.
When the president addressed at 8:30, I got a call at 29 minutes past 8. So I don't think I would have been the first one. I think probably I was the last.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Well, from lions, cheetahs, and hyenas from last night to the legend. Welcome indeed. This is 947. It is #Marawa Sports Worldwide. MSW on 947, welcoming each and every one of you across the country, the continent, and the world. Vuma FM, Rise FM, Sowetan Live in the mix. What kind of sporting schedule do you have ahead of the weekend? Where is your interest? What are you going to be watching? What are you going to be listening to? Share some of those. Let's get a sense of what Joburgers, KZN, Mpumalanga, everyone in and around the country is going to be watching over the weekend. 0607080484. Send me a nice, short, very chirpy voice note. Because I'm interested, I'm intrigued, I'm inquisitive. I want to find out what people get up to. Because what we're getting up to right now is making sure that you're listening and you're also watching on YouTube. So you go to the YouTube channel, 947 Joburg, you'll find us, we're there. My guest is here already, she's chilled. She's never been late, ever. She'll never blame traffic, she'll never blame anything. So I'm excited that she's here. I'm excited about the conversation we're going to have, because we're going to talk tactics today. Like, I'm sick and tired of talking to Desiree Ellis and we talk about tactics. So what are you going to do? How are the players? Have they all pitched up? No. We've done that. Today we get a very rare chance to say a big thank you to her for all the contribution that she's done in terms of football. But let me tell you that Sundowns coach Rulani Mkwena says that he has no clue which Percy Tau is going to be turning up for the CAF Champions League Group B clash against Al Ali at Loftus Stadium tomorrow afternoon. Now, you and I and everybody else knows Tau's background. I mean, he made his big name at Sundowns. He may prove very difficult to handle for his former club, as has been used in different attacking options by Al Ali's Swiss coach Marcel Koller over the past few weeks. But according to Mkwena, he's also added, though, that he is not surprised that the Bafana Bafana prelim squad is dominated by his players, and also believes that there could have been more. Bafana Bafana coach Hugo Broos included 10 Sundowns players in that 35-man prelim squad to face Liberia in the back-to-back Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers that are going to be happening later on this month.
Yeah, good game in prospect. I'm sure everyone's waiting with huge anticipation for it. Both Sundowns and Al Ahly have a lot to play for in the group, and still 3 games to go and a lot of work still to be done. So one game at a time for us, and the next one is a very difficult one against a very good opponent. And we're putting in the work and we're preparing ourselves and looking forward to it. Look, our focus is always on ourselves. We try to make sure that we can do the best that we can for this football club. And the focus has to be like that, because we can't control what happens to the other teams. We can focus on ourselves and we can focus on our performance and giving ourselves the best opportunity to win the football match, and of course then to move as close as possible to 10 points. And then we have to then try to target qualification after that, whether first or second position, and we have to work very, very hard. Nothing's going to be given to us on a silver platter. We've got to earn everything that we receive, and this is the mentality that we have, and that's the only way that's going to help us to survive and continue the journey of the Champions League. Awesome. Yeah, we try to win every single game. We try to win every single training session, we try to win every single pass. We try to win every single sprint. We try to win every single duel. The mentality is based on that. We try to breed a mentality that is recognizable by the fans of this football club, and the fans of the football club recognize winning. And the club is based on that. So we try every single day to make sure that we win. We win the day, we win the match, we win the session, we win, and that's the mentality. And so we go into the next match with that mentality. Fortunately, we are still in the last 3 competitions of the season. We still have a big shout in how well we do this season with regards to how we perform and where we end up, and so far the players have shown an incredible appetite, an intensity that is worthy of the performances that we expect. And so I expect also as the coach nothing less than a spirited fight to try to win the football match on Saturday. Yeah, Percy is playing completely different. The last 3 games also completely different as compared to where he played against us. And against us in Cairo, he played 3 different positions in 90 minutes. And but very good player. One of our best exports. And I don't speak too much about him first because he's not a Mamelodi Sundowns player, and so I've got to have a lot of respect by what I say and how I speak about players that are not my players. And second, because maybe I'm a little bit biased, of course, in my opinion about Percy, so I try not to say too much. So I will leave it at that.
Yeah, see, the mind games have begun, eh? Al Ahly pretty sharp in terms of how they're using their social media. Championing Percy Tau as the people's hero. You know, talk about flipping it against your own, hey? I just thought that was smart. I really, really thought that was smart. But nonetheless, as we say, we are live 947 on the YouTube channel. Log on your questions, your comments, because we've got a very special night ahead of us tonight. Simply based on the person that is here in studio. And when we talk about the individual that is here in our studio tonight, that really says it is a Friday.
Friday nights, always.
This is how we do it.
About our beloved legends. Pull up your chair. Let's chat legendary stuff. Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, from mixing spices. Hey, they were telling me that she was mixing spices at a butchery to a WAFCON winning coach. It's been quite a journey, though, for this gaffer. And we all love and admire. Whether from a distance or close up, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, all I know is that she's a born leader. You remember her. Very curly-haired captain for Banyana Banyana back in the early 2000s. I mean, she had a couple of detractors at the time. And they were like, hey, what do you mean? Who is she? What is she doing? Hey, but listen, I mean, her legendary status will forever be engraved in the annals of African football folklore. I mean, she's achieved so many and changed so much as far as women's football is concerned. And today, I don't want us to just celebrate those wins, but also just to tap into the journey. You know, the lows of her career, what drives her, what keeps her going. I mean, if you ever wanted to know Coach Des better, well, be my guest today, because Coach Desiree is right here in studio. Good evening, Coach. Good to see you.
Good evening, Robert. Welcome to the listeners and the viewers. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm truly humbled once again.
You say listeners and then load shedding hits, but don't disappear, guys. It's going to kick it right now, so don't be scared. We rehearsed with Eskom how to do this opening here, so it was all very dramatic. So thanks, Des, for being a part of the drama. So now that we got this very candlelight moment outside of football, again, you're coming here to the studio. You're driving here. What's going through your mind? What occupies Desiree Ellis's mind outside of football?
Very difficult to switch off, Robert, as you know. But I read a lot, anything. I watch sport a lot, anything. And sometimes I take me time. I switch my phone off and I just take a day off just to refresh the batteries. But at the end of the day, driving here, I was thinking about this interview or this meetup that I'm having with you.
Conversation. We're not having an interview today.
We're going to have some fun today and to let people know Desiree besides the footballer, because they don't really know who the person is, and when they see you on TV, they think that's who you are. But you come from a place. You also come from a background that people don't know of, and I think sometimes what they see is not who I am. And I think it's important for people to realize that I'm just someone that comes from a small town in Nova Park in the Western Cape. It's known for its gangsterism and drugs, but I'm just someone that had a talent and used the talent that God gave me.
What do you think the biggest misconception is about Desiree Ellis?
Well, the first thing is when people see me, they say, you're so short. They say, you look so big on TV. I said, TV makes anyone look bigger. Yeah. But I think, well, I don't know, Robert, there's a lot of opinions out there of who I am and how I go about doing my things and so on. But I just try to stay true to who I am. And that is working on my craft and also being as honest as I can be, because I think for me that is key.
Where do you get that from, though? I mean, what is the key formative foundation of your honesty? Because that's exactly what you've given us throughout your years, whether you were captaining Banyana or whether you were coaching, was your honesty. The big decisions that you've had to take in dropping some big name players have been born out of honesty. So what's that foundation?
I think it's my parents, first of all, the way I was raised, always to respect.
Yeah.
And always to make sure that, I speak honestly and I can sleep at night honestly knowing that I've made football decisions. And that for me is important, because you also got to switch off. If you don't switch off, you don't sleep at night. And I sleep beautifully at night. And I think that comes from my parents. And also my faith is so strong. I have to, because of there's a lot of couch coaches out there.
Yes.
And everyone has got an opinion. And unfortunately, football is a matter of opinions. So you're not going to please everyone, but you got to make sure that you do things for the team, first of all, and for the situation.
How proud is your family?
Very. My mom keep asking, when am I coming back to Cape Town?
Are you ever?
When am I coming back to Cape Town? And
it's too late, though.
Recently was there for the cricket World Cup, which was
Yes.
amazing, supporting the female team, cricket team. I have a birthday coming up. It's a big one. So my mom keep asking,
60.
are you coming for your birthday? I said, no, but I'll try to come a couple of days later.
See, Dondre just almost fainted. But I said 60. She can't believe how young you look and the fact that you just said, it's going to be a big one. Like, you're just going to be turning 30. You're turning 60.
Yes, I am.
What goes through your mind? I mean, is this like a leap of faith? Is this like a, how did we get here?
You know, Rob, I was born premature. I actually weighed about just over 1 point something kilograms. I was baptized in an incubator, so every day is a blessing.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Does that worry you? Does that shock you still? Or do you say, look at me, 3-time back-to-back, the best African female coach on the continent and an African champion?
I'm just grateful for how far I've come. As I said, I was baptized, and my second name is not in my ID book because I got teased regularly. It's
Oh, what name did you drop from the ID book?
Well, my one of my dad's cousins went to obviously register me, and I think I had a different. I think my second name was supposed to be Glynis or something, and she registered me as Desiree Ellis. So people used to sing that song, Alice in Wonderland, or you know who is Alice, you know. So people used to tease me regularly about that. So when I got my ID, my second name wasn't in there. I just left it like that.
So no Glynis there.
No Alice there either.
No, no, don't worry. You're not the only guilty one. You also have names omitted from that ID because can you imagine? Can you imagine? All right, I'm afraid to ask the next question because I'm going to have to cut you off because we're going to have to take an ad break. Desiree Ellis, not the other names. Please, you never heard that. That was a private conversation. So keep it away from the streets. She's my guest. In fact, she's the one person that today we are saying a big thank you to. She's the one person that we are honoring. She's the one person that we can proudly say when it comes to women's sport, we can walk around bravely. We can walk around freely. We can walk around and be so proud to say, yeah, she's one of our own. And people don't believe that, Desiree broke into the international fold at the age of 30. 30 years old. Went on to captain our national team. And is now currently the best. In 3 years, tell your next door neighbor, in 3 years, nobody on the continent has been better than her.
Marawa Sports Worldwide Live.
In 3, 2, 1.
On 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
What's the definition of rugged redefined? The new Nissan Navara. Adventure and functionality unite from only 10,149 with no deposit. And for future peace of mind, Nissan Finance's guaranteed future value ensures your vehicle's value at the end of your term. Book your test drive at nissan.co.za. The Nissan Navara, made for your future journey. Based on the 4x2 SE ATDC, 48 months, 13.27% linked rate. Retail price 542,900. 1208 initiation fee, 69 Rand monthly admin fee. 55% GF fee. Total cost of credit 775,598. GFE mileage limited to 80,000 kilometers. Finance subject to approval by Nissan Finance, a product of Westbank, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. NCRC P20. T's and C's apply.
Whether you own lightweight or heavy-duty machinery or vehicles, My Way Business Insurance offers a wide range of products to protect the business you've worked so hard to build. Our business insurance includes comprehensive cover for your commercial vehicles, your business property, and more. And with us, you only pay for what you need. For a quote, visit myway.co.za or call us on 0860 64 64 64. My Way is a licensed non-life insurance FSP. Standard rates and T's and C's apply.
The Galaxy S23 Ultra's 200-megapixel camera brings you what can only be described as wow-worthy resolution. So much resolution, in fact, that you'll be able to zoom, crop, scale, and print your images without losing any detail. Now that's epic. Buy the epic Galaxy S23 now and add the Galaxy Watch 5 from only 19 Rand per month. Available for a limited time only. Galaxy S23 series. Share the epic. T's and C's apply.
Lotto Star scratch card games are the perfect way to scratch for your dreams. You could win payouts of up to 255 million rand in seconds. Win diamonds with Diamond Rush, supercars with Ferrari and Aston Martin, your dream life with retirement fund, or cash with bank balance and many more. Scratch now. Lotto Star, your world of live games.
Lotto Stars, licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s. National Responsible Gambling Program. 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
947. The love story is far from over. The rivalry nowhere near the end. And the drama we are all here for is still brewing. Catch all the action, betrayal, and everything in between in the final season of the smash hit series, The Wife. Keep watching, only on Showmax. Sign up at showmax.com.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture will be Mr. Zizi Kodwa.
I mean, you talked about the T20. There's netball coming up. There's the Women's, Football World Cup that's still coming up this year. So there's a great deal in terms of women's sport and excitement. But they say they don't get even a drop of what the men get.
There are certain conversations we shouldn't even have in 2023. Interestingly, you'll find the women in netball, in cricket, doing much better than men, and I'm not saying anything about it. We must hit the ground running like a speed of a cheetah and hyena at the same time, or leopard. But it's important that we cannot go back and try to analyze some of the shortcomings. We now know what are the shortcomings. I mean, not the shortcomings like I just said. We shouldn't be having a conversation about equal work, equal pay in South Africa.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. Friday nights, always.
This is how we do it.
About our beloved legends. Pull up your chair. Let's chat legendary stuff. Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Yes, it is Desiree Ellis in the hot seat today. And all we're doing is just saying a big thank you for her contribution. You're listening to 947. Hey, Joburg. Mpumalanga KZN, Sowetan Live. You're live on Rise FM, Vuma FM. And of course, you're taking your WhatsApp voice notes. And there's plenty of them. Plenty. And it's no surprise, though, given the fact that we got the quality of human being that is right here in studio. Just a quick one, though, just in terms of pay. You're listening to the minister. He's the newly appointed minister. And we've got so many ministers, man. And I will say this to you because we also have to have an honest conversation. And Zizi knows this. Is that outside of Steve Tshwete, the late, and then I give a higher percentage again to Ngonde Palfo. That is where my list of ministers of sport comes to an end. Everybody else in between filled the position. And we congratulate them for that. Does a little bit of what you've heard Zizi say, his history in sport, inspire you, especially given how hard he was full of praise for what you've done, what women have done in sport, saying they've done better than the male counterparts. Does it give you some form of hope?
No, most definitely. This is the year for women in sport. We've seen the Under-19 World Cup. We've seen the T20. The Netball World Cup is coming up, and obviously the Football World Cup. And it's women raising their hands and being in the forefront. And it's fantastic to hear the new minister coming in and saying, it shouldn't have this conversation. It should happen. But I can also say that it's happening at football level where they're getting equal pay. And that came after the WAFCON. And I said that gold medal is going to change so much, which is really exciting and good for women's football. The generations that have come before, they've really worked hard to get to where we are now. And this generation will work harder for the next generation to come. But fantastic that the minister has come out and, hopefully he's also true to his word, like we say.
Yes. What is your first pay for Banyana?
I think back in the day, I think we got a win bonus somewhere of 300 Rand.
A win bonus of 300 Rand.
Yes.
That's for winning, eh?
Yeah.
Not for participating. You got nothing for participating. You got 300 Rand for winning.
No, we didn't get anything for participating. I think we got like 100 Rand allowance, and that was back in the early 90s.
and you used to get like handovers, like as far as jerseys are concerned. So the Bafana leftover jerseys were then handed down to Banyana.
Yeah, the jerseys were big. When we started out, we had one T-shirt. I still remember, I had to wash out the T-shirt to train, but my boy, how things have changed. It's changed for the better though, but back in the day, when you speak to the Americans, you speak to the Nigerians, they had the same struggles. Look where they are today, and that is putting up performances and being consistent, and the players have been so consistent, and that has helped us, as women's football, change things. It's changed things. Cricket has changed, rugby has changed, netball has changed. So women in sport has taken the lead in that, and it's fantastic to see. And so sad for the cricket team not getting over that hurdle, but what an amazing thing. But like I say, it's fantastic that things have changed for the better. Yeah,
I'm happy for that. I'm happy for the fact that they got to a final. There is a choker's tag associated with cricket. I thought they would overcome it, but I was okay. I was okay because they got the kind of response, the prominence, the support that they deserve. And I know they can do better. I know they'll go on to dominate in future. Sometimes when you get that success too soon, then you think you've arrived. I think it was okay. I think for the ladies, I can celebrate that, given what they've had to sacrifice, decisions that have had to be taken, players that had to be dropped, based on technicalities, around fitness, around a couple of things that were debatable. But you having to choose, and that's why I asked about the pay, having to choose at the time, because you're almost pushed into a corner to say, you've got a full-time job, you want to play this football, you want to be involved in football. So you had to quit your job.
Actually, I didn't quit, I got fired.
So you got fired?
Yes, guys.
For this football?
What happened, Rob, was I was working in this meat market, and funnily enough, I got a text message from someone, and this person said to me, I wonder what they're thinking now seeing you on TV. They've since closed down. The company's since closed down. So I got this opportunity to try out for the national team at the very young age of 30. And in those days, we traveled with a minibus,
yes,
obviously, to come here. Terry Payne was our first coach, and I make the national team as a vice captain, and I score a hat-trick on debut. And on the way back
against Swaziland,
yes,
was that the 14-0?
That was the 14-0. I was one of three that scored a hat-trick on debut.
Crazy.
And on the way back, we get a puncture, so I get back to work late, and they say I absconded, and that's the reason I got fired.
Sure, but the butchery that you work for that fired you has shut down.
They shut down a long time ago, yeah.
Oh, so you can't even go have a spit braai there.
Hi, Robert. Avi Moloi here from Naturena. Please ask Coach Desiree if do we need European coaches to come and coach on our ladies league, seeing that she has learned a lot from the previous Banyana Banyana coach. Yes, thank you.
Celebrating the life, the journey, the times, Desiree Ellis. European coaches, do we need them? You learned quite a bit from a Vera Pauw, for example. What's your answer to that?
He's talking about the league. I think, Robert, for us to get better, we also need the league to become more professional, first of all, before you even...
100% professional, though?
Yes. Before you even think of anything. We have a lot of qualified coaches, both male and female, that have played a huge role in women's football, in the league itself. It's not where we want to be. But for us to really, compete with the rest of the world, we've shown that even though our league is not professional, we can still compete. But for us to even be better, we need that professional league where players don't have to worry about going to work and then come to train after work, where players can, you look at the netball team and they contracted, so all they do is concentrate on training. And that is the huge difference, where the professional teams train week in, week out on a very high level. You see the improvement in Jermaine. You see the improvement in Refilwe Jani since WAFCON. It was mind-blowing to see it.
Linda as well.
Yes, all those players that come in. And even Otolo, not playing regularly. But for me, she was was outstanding. And I mean, people talk about the performance against Nigeria. I think this is like so many times better, because you see a change not only in the attitude, a change in the mentality, a change in everything. So you train on a high level each and every day and play on a high level each and every week. Like I said, the Hollywood Bets Super League is there, but it's not where we want to be, but it's there. So far for me, the league has improved every year. You look at a club like Richmond, who were almost relegated twice in a row, and now they're one of the leading scorers in the league, and they're right up there. And each and every time it's getting better, but there's not enough competitive games, where you can really say the players are pushing against themselves and really raising the intensity. Because when you play international football, and we saw it against Brazil, you saw the levels, it's completely different, and that is the level you're going to reach at the World Cup. And players in the league are not exposed to those situations week in, week out. And we have to create those things in training and get players to maybe train with boys but
it's different.
It's different. Yeah. So I'm saying before we even can think of getting European coaches out here, we have to get to a stage where we have a professional league. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the president, Dr. Jordan, also said it's very important for us to take that next step. And then when we take that next step, we're just going to see things just going amazing.
All right, I'm looking at our YouTube feed. A number of you have logged on. Thank you so much indeed. You're all watching, we're all listening. Fortune C. Chabaya says, with what Pitso has done in terms of success outside of South Africa, would Coach Desiree accept any opportunity outside of South Africa? And has there been any offers?
Robert, I'm currently employed.
Yes.
But you can never say what's going to happen in the future. Only God knows. But it would be exciting if opportunity does come like that, because you see what Coach Pitso has done. He's really someone who we follow and who sets the trend and tells us that, we might be in our comfort zone where we are. But that is the way. Yes, I look, Coach Shaleen has gone to South Sudan and made a huge impact there.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, when the opportunity comes, people are afraid to take it, because what's the worst thing that can happen? You don't succeed, but that's part of your journey to be better the next time.
Yeah, because you could be the best coach on the continent 5 times back to back, and then Desiree feels that this feels good, and then she gets a little bit comfortable, and then she doesn't want to challenge herself anymore, and then we lose the edge, which is Desiree. But if Desiree is like, hey, here's a post in a certain country, then we get the best out of you. We're not losing you. You're just empowering yourself, and you come back a better person. So I'm just saying that those and others, I don't want to put words in your mouth, just so you get misquoted as well.
In Rob and the World Cup bound coach Desiree Ellis. Coach, one of the qualities of a winning team is selecting players on merit, and I just want to compliment you for that, because in relation to the current men's under 16 national team that is going to Poland, where we don't see a fair representation of the country, where you see some of the quality academies in that age group, like Stars of Africa and KZN Academy not being represented. But with you, you've been quite meticulous and very thorough in selecting players on merit. And I just want to find out from you, what is the winning formula for Banyana in terms of pipeline and developing players to feed into the national team? Thank you so much. It's Tebogo.
Tebogo, thank you so much indeed. Winning formula in terms of that pipeline?
I think I have regular interactions with Coach Simpiwe as well as Coach Jabu. I think it's important, because when we are looking at players, it's important that we interact. We also give feedback when the player goes back to the youth teams. And as you can see, we've brought a lot of players through, consistently. But I think, each and every coach, has a way of playing. Each and every coach feels that certain players, will do the job for them. And the players that we select, we feel that they will do the job for us. And then we've got to trust them wholeheartedly. So I think the way we play, there might be players that are influential at the clubs, but they might not fit into the way we play. And I think that goes the same for every coach. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Being there, somebody sitting in the stand doing this and saying substitute. Meanwhile, we're happy because we've given that player an instruction. So it's easy just to talk outside when you don't know what happens inside. But Dr. Jordan always says, when we go out there onto the field, we entertainers. We have people coming to stadiums who are maybe unemployed or maybe have certain challenges, and when they come to that stadium, they want to be happy, and we've got to put a smile on their faces. So for us, that's the most important thing, doing that. But I think the players themselves, the mentality that they bring, I think that has really helped us. Before going to AFCON, there was no other conversation but winning it.
Yeah.
When I said quarterfinals to qualify for the World Cup, no, if we win this, we go to the World Cup. So the mentality there, and that's where the likes of Jermaine, the Philwejani, those players, the Tembis, those players, they raise the levels. So we just try to get the mix right of international and local, but also the mix right of youth and experience, because we got to have a succession plan where we make sure we're bidding for 2027. So we got to make sure that some of the players that are there, like the Sibulelis, like the Nkolos, like the Fikili Magamas, and those players who already have caps, get the experience. So when the World Cup comes to South Africa in 2027, we have a group of players that are not completely new. Yeah. So trying to refresh, but making sure that we still keep the experience. And that for us has been the key. So each and every coach, has their own way of how they do things.
She turns 60 next week. Her name is Desiree Ellis. She's our guest tonight. Yeah, 14th of March is the big day. I don't know where she's going to be celebrating. I want to come and gate crash that party, that's for sure. When they were talking about the fact that we got to be chatting to you, a number of very important people said there is no way that we're not going to say a word or two.
Hi Desiree, Shalene here. I was asked to do a little bit of a tribute, and I just wanted to say how really grateful I am to know you, the type of person that you are. I mean, we've played together, we've coached together. I think we've come up through the ranks of coaching education, and I think it's been an amazing experience for me to share with someone like you. I don't think many people know the struggles and the challenges that you have faced to get to where you are today, and I think everything that you are getting now is exactly what you deserve. You are a super amazing human being, and I'm super proud of you. I hope you know that, and I'm so glad that I got to see it all firsthand.
Oh, thank you so much, Shalene. 10 seconds to respond to that.
I've known Shalene for more than 20 years.
That is crazy.
And she's also one of my biggest critics. My late father was, and she's taken over that mantle.
Yeah.
So I remember doing a course and thinking that I failed the medical, and she said straight on, I didn't know that you were that stupid.
Ooh, we're going to come back with that.
Marawa Sports Worldwide. Changing and re-engineering sports on the continent and the world.
Fly Emirates First and Business Class and look forward to a journey that's as incredible as your destination. Start your holiday with delicious fine dining, impeccable service, and comfort that's out of this world. Sip drinks in our A380 onboard lounge, watch a movie, and drift into a restful sleep in flatbed seats. Treat yourself to Emirates First and Business Class. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Only 1 month left to get the Specsavers 2-for-1 deal. Get a free pair of branded single vision sunglasses up to the value of 3,100 Rand. Yes, free branded prescription sunglasses. To qualify, simply purchase a comprehensive eye examination and prescription frame and lenses. Visit us today or book online for our 2-for-1 promotion. Specsavers, for affordable eye care and a whole lot more. T's and C's apply.
Hey buddy, it's me, your car. Wow, we've been through a lot over the years, eh? Many roads, many towns, so many memories. But listen, it's time to move on, eh? Go and get yourself a fresh new ride. But just promise me one thing. Let me go the right way. Let me go to We Buy Cars. We Buy Cars, the best way to sell your car by far.
Plus,
Plug, play and connect today with this red-hot deal from Vodacom. This month, get the Alcatel HH72 home router on a home internet deal with 10 megabit per second download speed for only 349 Rand per month over 36 months and save 1,800 Rand. Plus, you get a free Volcano Mini UPS. So even when load shedding hits, you'll stay connected. Miss it, miss out. T's and C's apply. Further together, Vodacom.
The average business owner has a lot on their mind. Manufacture, supply, creditors, strategy, and then there's the unpredictable, the future. But while we at Bright Insurance can't eliminate potential future threats, we can eliminate the fear of them. So you can focus on a bright future. To prepare your business for the future, visit brightinsure.co.za or contact your broker now. Bright Insurance. Approach risk with purpose. Bright Insurance Company Limited is a licensed insurer and authorized FSP.
Let's go! This is 947. 947.
It's Ray Day savings at Pick n Pay. Get more deals like a Gold Air 8-litre air fryer for only 1,599 Rand when you swipe. And 5-kilogram Etosha triquettes for only 59 Rand 99 when you swipe. 4 days of incredible savings. Only at Pick n Pay. Valid 9 to 12 March while stocks last. T's and C's apply.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture will be Mr. Zizi Kodwa.
President Cyril Ramaphosa appointed Zizi Kodwa, who previously served as Deputy Minister of State Security, to the Sports, Arts and Culture portfolio. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What does it mean?
Felicitations of hope and expectations. It comes at a time, Rob, the mood in the country is quite a depressed mood. We were surrounded by many maladies. We are surrounded by many challenges. Sports, arts and culture have always lifted the nation's spirit at a very difficult and critical moment. We hope that this appointment, not only myself, working with all stakeholders in the sectors across, will be able to lift up the spirit and the mood in the country, which is quite a depressed mood, like we just indicated.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. Friday nights, always. This is how we do it. About our beloved legends. Pull up your chair. Let's chat legendary stuff. Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Yeah, we're going to take a couple of moments. I want to say anything. I don't want to say a word. I don't think Desiree wants to say a word. I just think we're just going to have silent radio. We're just going to keep quiet. Sorry.
Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Hulifalang here, and good evening to the MSW shareholders, and good evening to Coach Desiree Ellis. Wow, what a prime example and prime definition of what inspiration is all about. I mean, when she broke into the game, she has served the game with aplomb to a point where she's represented the national team, given the amount of years that she's played professionally, and she has now come into the world of coaching and is now probably one of the best, if not the best, female coaches in the history of South African football. And I think it is probably the right time to definitely let her smell her flowers while she's still alive. And to be very honest, Coach Desiree Ellis, you have been a proper, an amazing servant to the game of football, and we will definitely miss you when you're gone. So rather enjoy your incredible expertise whilst we still have the chance. And just to pose a question, has she ever thought of retirement, or does she believe that there's still a lot to achieve? Because I mean, she won the WAFCON, she's a multi-time CAF Women's Coach of the Year and all those things. So given all her achievements, has she ever thought of retiring, or does she believe that she still has a long way to go? That is what I want to find out. Great show, Mr. Rob. Thanks.
Mr. Marawa, good evening to you, and good evening to Coach Des. Firstly, I would like to thank Coach Des for putting South African football back onto the map in the African continent by winning the African Cup of Nations with Banyana Banyana. And secondly, thank you for taking us to the World Cup. And I so wish South Africans can rally behind you on this journey with the girls. And third, but not least, if I were to put you on the spot with a simple yes or no, were your bonuses as promised being paid by South African Football Association? Olani Machola, Amapepetan.
All right, we'll say a word or two. I don't want Desiree to talk much. I don't want to talk much. Were the bonuses paid?
Yes.
You just asked for yes or no. You've answered. Good. But you heard that. I mean, from Hulufelang, just saying that you're a prime example of everything that he described. Best female coach in SA. You've been proper. You've been amazing. You've been a servant of the game. But he asks then at the end, he says, have you ever considered retirement?
Coaches don't retire, Rob.
Ever.
They don't really retire because there's so much to do. So much to do. But like you know, and like I'm always say, I don't work by myself. I have an amazing group of people that I work with. Assistant coach, goalkeeper coach, analyst, etc. Amazing group of people. But I think the players make it even easier because of the attitude and the mentality and what they bring. We talk about teamwork. I think we pride ourselves on teamwork. And I think that has really brought us where we are, where we say the individual will stand out. And I'm fortunate that at times I'm the individual. But when I grab that award, it's not just for me.
Yeah.
There's coaches out there that work 24/7 and they do such a lot of work. So, coaches never retire.
Ever?
No.
Ever. Look at the Real Betis coach. We all know him so well. He says he gets younger. Watch them play. When Betis played against Madrid over the weekend. He's like, hey, Coach Pellegrini, how you doing? Hey, you look younger and younger and younger. You're doing so well. They watch him again. Play against us. They played yesterday. Sorry. And it was like a crazy game against Man United. But he was still there. Fighting. Thinking. Substituting. Plotting. Planning. I told you, a lot of very important people did not want to miss out on this rare opportunity to pay tribute to the lady in studio.
Yeah, I think Desiree has had an extremely illustrious career, both on and off the field. On the field as a player, a captain, as well as off the field and on the sidelines as the coach. The first coach in South Africa to lift the AFCON trophy, and it just shows her, immense passion and hard work that has been put in with the team over the years. So I'm really proud of Des, and it's been really good working alongside her. In the future, I'd like to wish her all the best for the upcoming Women's World Cup, as well as whatever, the rest of her future holds for her as a coach. So well done, Des. Super proud of you, and keep going.
Oh, do I even have to tell you who that is?
Oh, manager.
Lauren Duncan, thank you so much. And when you hear all of that, but you can tell there's like a tinge. There's that pride that comes in to say, yes, it's Desiree, but I think they feel even more proud that they are part of what you bring into the mix.
She works very hard.
Yeah.
Does all the logistics, does everything. Make sure by the time we come to camp, everything is sorted. But it's the work that we do together.
Yeah.
Like I always say, we're the people in the background. Camp doesn't start when we get to camp. Camp starts 3-4 weeks before, when the analyst is getting all the footage, where we're analyzing, where we're meeting, where we're preparing training. So to the staff, they've always been amazing. They're the ones that don't get the recognition because they work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But it's not a one-man band or a one-woman band. Yeah. And then obviously the players, they have been super amazing, because without them, you can have all these grand plans. You can have all this amazing thing that you want to set out
but
there.
Nothing ever happens.
But nothing happens.
Yeah.
So the players come through as well. And, that has really been great for us. But I think a lot of our success is not just down to teamwork. I'm not saying that other people don't, but we are a praying team. Our faith is extremely strong. You look at Tembi, you look at Rafil and Jermaine, them all, and everyone else in the team. I think that has really brought us through. So big thank you, Laurie. We call her Laurie.
Laurie. Laurie's deliver good things, eh? Lauren Duncan, thank you so much. You know what? There's women's football, and then there's women's football. There's women's football and people that have spearheaded women's football, and there are people who will always be synonymous with fighting the fight, fighting the good cause of women's football in South Africa. And of course, again, there was no way. She was like, who? You hosting who? Desiree, please.
Well,
I remember Desiree as a young 15-year-old coming to the interprovincial tournaments and club champs we used to have in Newcastle. Always determined. I was playing then as a left wing. She was an attacking midfielder, but she was always present. You knew she was there being creative. And she continued doing this in over a decade as the captain of Banyana. But we wish we had players like her who just showed that creativity and determination to succeed. So, a great player.
Fran Hilton Smith.
Yeah.
What do we even say about Fran?
Yeah,
man?
there's so much you can say.
Hey.
You know, when Fran retired as well, I think I was one of the people that went through that coaching. Where she opened the doors for us to get our coaching badges. I remember getting injured in one of the camps and her sending me home to go do a coaching course when Hoskrita was still at SAFA. Go do a coaching course because you're just going to sit here. And
he was the technical director.
There we go. And Fran has just been there. You know, we owe a lot of where we are to Fran. So a big thank you to her. Like she says, I've known her since I was 15, and that's a very long time.
Oof. I think you're both giving away your ages here. Hey, Fred, I know you listen every single day to the show. I know you've been part of this movement from day one. We can only be proud to still rub shoulders with you, Fred. Now, I moved from Fred to somebody that I saw just the other day. I mean, you can see we here in studio, you got all these monitors blaring in the background. And I saw a very familiar face. I saw a face of somebody who is making headway, who is making history in Europe. And she's being celebrated in the same way that we're celebrating you today. And I thought this is no coincidence, you know. And again, I think she's probably an island right now. But she was just like, guys, listen. Again, you cannot be doing anything that is Desiree Ellis related without my voice in it. And I will get a response from you when you hear her. Very loud and clear. Let's hear what she had to say.
Hi Desiree. Hi Robert. It's Vera here. Well, Des, to you, it's very hard to put all the words into place for expressing my admiration for you. Being CAF Coach of the Year for 3 times now, throwing Nigeria out of the African Championships and then winning the African Championships, being Coach of the Year in South Africa. It's just absolutely amazing what you have done for the game and what you have achieved with those fantastic players. The thing that you have not been nominated this year for the FIFA Best is something that FIFA can never make good. They do nominate the champions of Europe, they do nominate the champions of South America, and the one who deserves it most is not even nominated. So know that's been seen by very, very many people. And I hope you enjoy all the admiration that you get now from South Africa. And being one of the great legends, or the great legend, as I would like to say, is the best honor that you can get. Because you always say to me, the people that know you know what you've done for the game. And that is what I want to say to you. Fantastic that Robert and his team is seeing this. And many, many people in South Africa are seeing that. Good luck at the World Cup. I hope we meet. We will not cross, our games will not cross in the schedule, but hopefully we can see each other. And thank you so much for all the support that you have given me, and I hope that I can give a little bit of support to you. A big, big hug and enjoy your evening. Bye bye.
Oh, man. Can you imagine? Vera Pauw, coach of the Republic of Ireland's national women's team. They are heading to the World Cup. They go to the World Cup for the first time. Hey, for the first time. So can you imagine? Vera Pauw was Banyana Banyana head coach. Desiree Ellis was there as the assistant coach. They worked together, hand in glove. And there's a strong possibility that they might meet at this World Cup. Like she's saying, I hope we don't meet. But firstly, just take in all that she had to say. I just thought, kind of made me emotional because I know Vera. I know what she's about. I know her work ethic. Mm-hmm. I know what she means to you and your journey, and I suppose vice versa. But she had to learn about culture in South Africa as much from you as you had to try and learn about international football from her, whatever that means. But having heard that, how do you respond?
I'm a little bit emotional, but I still chat to Coach Vera.
Yeah.
On a regular basis. We still chat. About a couple of days ago, I was chatting to her as well. And I think if I had to be a player when she was the coach, I might have been the best player in the world.
Wow.
I think, we're fortunate to have had someone like her. No disrespect to the other coaches that have come before.
Yeah.
And I always say, I saw Joseph Mkonza the other day. And I think we forget that he was around. He was the first coach that took us to a global event. There were other coaches that came. I think Vera just took what they did and took it to a different level. She very meticulous. Some of the things that she did, for the first time I knew those things. In everything that she did, whether the player is standing at the near post, the far post, etc., there's a reason why all of those things happen. And the funny thing about her was when she needed to translate from Dutch to English, and we would laugh about it because it was always so funny. It was a direct translation and didn't really mean anything. Yeah. But she was a very humble human being and always looked out for the players. I think that for her was important, to make sure that the players, got what they needed, and, making sure that she could help in any way. And I think in my development, she played a huge role. She's still playing a huge role. I will chat to her about a few things if I'm not 100% sure. And me as a coach, I'm not afraid to ask. I think some coaches are afraid to ask because people will think less of them. And Coach Vera used to call me a encyclopedia, because she could ask me about any player and I'd give her the rundown about a player. And I think we got on so well, and I think we respected each other. If she'd ask my opinion, I'd give it to her. And sometimes we didn't agree, but I still, supported what she did, because that is who I am. I'm not always going to agree, but I think I've learned so much from her. I think I'm better for that experience, because her work ethic was second to none. Second to none. Work. I remember myself and Coach Celine, taking off a weekend because we were in camp for a very long time during WAFCON, the Olympic preparation, and we had this weekend off, and players could fly home at their own cost. And then we decided to go with Coach Vera, and we thought we were going to have a weekend off, but all we did was watch football. Wow. That's how dedicated she was. And I think
I've got 30 seconds left. Sorry.
Yeah, learning from that was just amazing.
It's your birthday next week. 60 years. It's an important one. What's your message as Desiree Ellis to Desiree Ellis for the next 60 years?
I just want to say to Desiree, from where you started to where you are now, and the person that you've become, stay the person that you've become. But also, I have a foundation, so I do a lot of things outside of the foundation, because I believe that we have to give back.
Yeah.
I think some of us forget when we reach those high places that we got there out of nothing. I still say, continue believing in where God has placed you, because God will not place you in a place that He doesn't want you to be. Stay the humble person that you are. Stay who you are and never change. And I think that for Desiree is important.
Happy birthday in advance, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being a superstar. Thank you for being a legend. Thank you for being the best we ever had in the game. Desiree Ellis, ladies and gentlemen, have a super weekend.
Marawa Sports Worldwide Live.
In 3, 2, 1.
On 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. #MSW.
This is 947.
We throw the hottest parties.
Who are we to say you can't party every weekend?
The 947 Block Party.
Every Friday and Saturday night.
Let me tell you something you already know.